it's probably about...
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. My friendship is worth as much as mental abuse, but you know, on the other end of the spectrum. But I think the game is gonna be starting right now. That's good for us, Rob, because we were losing our subject there.
I was gonna crack out the dad joke book and just get on with that. You know, just read those on stream. That was about where I was heading with if the game didn't unpause.
Oh man, I love those. I love those. Sometimes they are they're not the nicest ones, and when I read them, I start laughing, and I think like I'm going to hell.
And so we are going to be getting into the game. Everybody is ready now. You know, the voice lines are being spammed out, but we are here. We are finally into game number 2. And Navi once again making that move out, but Vincere coming along, crushing those trees with the trample. So taking that all away. And Navi, they knew that was going to happen. That's why they set it to make the move over, but with the trample just being able to go through so quick, Navi have no chance to respond to those trees being taken down.
Yeah, this is I think it was in Han, Heroes of Newerth, the game RIP, you know. The safe lane was called long lane, and the off lane would be called short lane, right? And that is just the case. It is much faster that you get towards your off lane than towards your safe lane. It's not that big of a road, and then Vincere was able to get there and just crush every single trees before Navi even came close.
Yeah, and what can they, I mean, the walls go down as well, so that's quite nice that they knew that Navi wanted to make a move. So you see that Navi, you know, they're not going to be able to get these wards down for free. They're already going to be able to see Marty in the river now as well, and at least Nemiga, they do get some free wards. They could have got some D wards out if any of the river wards came out, because we do see those sometimes go onto the other side of the map. You know, you do cross the river to drop those down, and Nemiga already in a great position to get those D wards off if they did come out.
They can't do it, but they haven't found them so far. Overall, what I'm very interested in this game in particular is how the top lane will do, because it is not gonna be a position 3 Snapfire. It is a position 3 Spirit Breaker, and we remember last game, like. Spirit Breaker and the Primal Beast, kind of the same heroes. You're gonna fight the hero on the side, and then the Spirit Breaker is gonna come over and kill him. Well, that's not gonna be happening, because Undying doesn't really like chasing heroes on the side. He likes to run towards the cores.
Yeah, and you can see that's so bad. He's putting out a lot of aggression onto Lays. Just the one decay stack coming through here as well. Twin Strong, he's gonna be procced by that next. Trying to create a lane behind that tier 2, tier 1 tower as he gets the pull through. But yeah, Lays has to be careful, because he can get the charge away, but he's still going to be taking a lot of damage from those trees coming through. You see that Kiritich started off with a Blightstone there as well. So he is going to put a lot of damage onto the Lays if Lays isn't aware of the aggression coming towards him.
Yeah, he loses a ton of HP, and then this hero that has a ton of right click and also has a Blightstone just crushes you with right clicks. It's a very hard lane to play into, though. Snapfire and the Spirit Breaker do have potential to turn this lane around. Level 3, 4, that is when they become scary, and when Undying is going to be losing all of his mana, basically.
Yeah, we see that the Undying this time isn't starting off with the usual 50 mango build. You know, he's not on that veggie diet coming through. Undying, he wants those brains, and it looks like he wants to try and get onto Lays to get them off now as well. Treant's being spawned here by the Prophet, but it looks like, again, just to clear off some trees and help the aggression onto Lays. As Undying, the charge comes through so bad, takes a little bit of damage, but again, just going to be able to stack up with the decay. The cookie comes out, it will connect onto the Undying. Scatter Blast now as well, but Lays, he's going to be chased down. The Tombstone will be dropped, and there's going to be the TP in. In fact, this might be the first blood. He's trying to avoid the high ground here, Sweden Strong, but does Prophet want to go for it? Still tracking with the Treant, so he might be able to scout this one out. Oh, he's going to give it up, it looks like.
One cool play that the Nature's Prophet made was he sent the Treant to deny the top water rune, and the only water rune went from. So that was quite a nice play there coming on from the Prophet. We could see the Treant kind of going down that line, but we didn't really look at it while it was denying the rune.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of damage for Malady in the bottom lane, and you can see that he has to back himself away because the telekinesis came out. You know, there's the points into the trample there as well. A lot of damage going out from Vincere. Only level 2 though. Potentially at level 3 would have had it and being able to get the kill onto the Treant. But the Treant coming through with the leech shield, you know, he's a tanky hero anyway with the 800 health, so he didn't have the damage of that time to take him down.
Yeah, level 2 trample is pretty much when you start dishing out the damage. So you don't want to be super aggressive before that does come. It's Rubik's job to go through some of the region of the Treant, and then when you get him low, when the Primal Beast has the levels, that's when you're gonna go for the kill.
Yeah, and he is going to be going towards the Windlace as well as what looks like the power treads. He's already got his boots of Vincere, getting a little bit out of that onto the trample, but when the phase boots, that Windlace comes out, he's going to have more effectiveness with that. And again, just a little bit of an extra power spike to come out from the Primal Beast.
Luna and the Treant is a very strong lane. You know, Treant plus some of the damage from the Lunar Blessing, you don't really want to be dealing with that one. Plus, Lucid Beam is one of the best spells to stop the Primal Beast. You know, the mini stun onto an onslaught, and then suddenly you can't get on top of a target with a trample. It really does change the lane.
Do you think that the Primal Beast in this lane up against the Luna, does he want to go for that point in the uproar again at level 4, or does he want to be maxing out onto the onslaught, into the trample?
I think not.
No.
I think you don't need it here.
Yeah.
Might not be needed. If you're not on top of the enemies, just try to get on top of them. That's the best thing, and you know, try to kill them as fast as possible. Would be the easiest way.
And in the mid lane as well, we've not spoke about it just yet, but Nicky Cool, he had no game in that last one. You know, he wasn't the coolest hero on the map, and he got punished for it. And this time, the Death Prophet up against the Lash. How is this lane going to play out, do you think?
I don't see anyone coming out heavily ahead. Whoever rotates, the other one is going to be doing a lot of damage to the tower. That's why we see Malrine getting more points in the Edict early on, because you want to be able to match the Exorcism once the time does come. But overall, in terms of CS, it is a skill-based matchup, and overall it's just going to be even for now.
Yeah, and let's see. I mean, Malrine, like you say, they do have that potential each to take the towers. So is this going to be one of those matchups where the mid laners don't really want to move off this mid lane? You know, you're going to be expecting the supports to rotate in to help out.
You wait for the Rubik on one side, you wait for the Snapper on the other side, and then you rotate. So that's kind of the idea, but it's who strikes first. If, let's say, the Rubik comes, you still want to apply some pressure to the Death Prophet so that she's low, and then you can rotate, or maybe apply the pressure to the mid lane. So rotations to the mid lane are gonna be the first ones that happen, and then from mid lane, once the other hero is dead or pushed back or whatever.
Yeah, and I suppose as well that Kiritich on the charge on Lays, as well as Kiritich, because we've seen Nature's Prophets even playing this position 1, haven't been shy at rotating in, you know, getting that TP off and looking to help secure a fight in the mid lane. And Sweden's strong. He doesn't have a point into the little shot. They're going to be slowed down by the line, and the cookie comes out, but the zombies, they're going to be chasing, and so bad. He picks up first blood. Really nice goal for him. Nicky Cool, though, you have to back yourself away from this with 2 heroes, and he might try and get aggressive with the line and into the split earth, and Nicky, you need to move away.
3 if you count the Rubik, who's saving the rune for Malrine. That is true. That is also the thing. That's the rotations towards the mid lane, and with the haste, that's one of the best runes for Alesh. He can run down the Death Prophet and actually just force out the Spirit Siphon, get out, and then go back in. That is a big thing.
Lay's going to use that charge on the top onto Kiritich just because I heard it through the speakers, but not actually connecting onto anyone, not being able to get a gank potential out of that. Malrine, yeah, he's going to stay in the mid lane. He's going to be using that Pulse Nova to come up. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, though, how's VTune looking in terms of farm? He is sitting at the most last hits, 43 to 5, you know, dancing up and down there with the Lash. Not too far behind on the net worth as well.
Yep, this Luna is getting a good time in the lane, and it's to be expected, to be honest. The Luna with the 3 points in Lunar Blessing, plus you're buffing up the Treant, that's a lot of damage that can be done in that lane. That's why Malrine is coming over.
Look at this deep ward as well. They're going to be able to see Malrine, and Malrine, can he get himself away from this one? The haste comes out from Malrine, so Malrine, he's going to have the body block, the Pulse Nova going there as well as the Edict, the Lightning Bolt to slow him down, and Malrine gets a really nice kill over onto the tree, and he's just going to be able to get himself back to the lane without losing any pressure on the tower as well, because Nicky Cool doesn't want to use the Exorcism before he crosses the river, and the creep's not even going to be able to cross the river before Malrine gets back.
And I think just before the runes, the Tombstone on the top lane was taken down, so for that one, Nemiga are not going to have the Tombstone, and ideally you want to be fighting around the runes if you are Nemiga.
Yeah, and Vincere on the bottom lane, he's putting pressure onto the tier 1. There is still the living armor, but the Luna already rotated away, so it's going to be a free lane for the Primal Beast. You can see here Luna looking to the jungle to get that farm out. He's already got himself the Morbid Mask, as well as just the extra damage coming through from that Broom Handle, the extra armor as well. So he is going to be able to find that jungle farm. Maybe just looks for... It is going to be the Master Madness to come out. In fact, he's going to be seen though by the ward. Is that the observer? It's an observer ward, so they are going to be able to see it now. The sentry comes out. Now he's going to be able to get the T ward.
He's protecting himself. He knows that his teammates don't really want to rotate too much, so he's doing it himself. He needs to be protecting himself. Currently, as Malady protects his tower, he's not gonna be able to just go next to the Luna for the entirety of the game like he was doing in the previous one.
No, at least Malady here, he gets himself through the tree. He's trying to slow down the push onto this tier 1 tower, but Vincere as well as Hellscream, they just want to be coming onto this tower. And I don't know how long Malady can keep it alive, even with the 2 points into the living armor. It looks like the creeps, you know, you can see that Vincere, he's pulling the creeps into the neutrals. He's pulling them behind, so he's going to be able to get the trample off, do the damage, clean those creeps up, and then just go right back onto the tower.
I think, okay, now they're going to be committing for that one. Nemiga do want to finish this one quickly so that Navi cannot respond. You don't want Navi to be able to respond, so he's not really going to be able to keep it alive for any longer when Kiritich does come.
Yeah, while that's going on the bottom lane, Kiritich does take it, but Nikki Cool's going to be here. Exorcism's going to be started. It is a full health tower. Fortification going to be used, so let's see if anyone rotates up to help defend this tier 1, or if they're just going to try and use this to delay Nikki Cool, stop him from being able to rotate here with Lays as well as the mid lane. You can see that Marine trying to do his best with the edict and just forcing V2 away. V2 is trying to pull back behind that tier 1 tower with the creeps to try and find the farm, and doesn't want to step up, doesn't want to take that aggression from the Lash coming out with that edict and potential pulse nova as well. So bad backing him up. So
Nemiga sent Vazia to the top lane again when their tower dropped. That is really weird. They made a mistake like this in the previous game as well, though. At least this time, Vazia.
Oh, Lays, he does get that chase off though with the onslaught here. Vazia and Lays with the charge. Can he get himself away? 8 seconds until the charge is back up. So he's looking all right. And no one's going to TP in, no one's going to get aggressive here onto the Spirit Breaker. So he is just going to be able to get himself away as Malady looking towards that bottom lane. But again, another ward goes down here on the stairs just behind the pillar. That's going to offer some protection to the Nature's Prophet, but it's going to spot the Luna. If the Luna wants to come back into this jungle to find the farm, or anyone on the side of Navi to find this farm.
I'm really interested to who is stronger, Primal Beast or the Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker, let's say when he goes in for a charge and there is a Rolling Thunder from the Pango, he always pushes him away, right? Because the Bash is a bigger range around the Spirit Breaker when you're charging than the Rolling Thunder stun is, and then you push him away. But for an Onslaught, I don't know who has the bigger range, because I haven't really seen these heroes go up against each other.
Yeah, and you can see the EGB. They say that Nemiga so far are the favorites. They do have the first couple of kills in the map as well. They're rotating around, finding these towers. As in the mid lane, can they get the push back? Because this is going to be the living armor. Still taking a lot of damage coming out from the Lash and his edict, though.
Nemiga and Navi, they definitely belong in Division 2 in Eastern Europe. You know how I know, Rob?
What?
We have 2 kills in 11 minutes. That's what happened in the Eastern European region for the entire year.
Yeah.
3 tours, Division 2, every single time we don't have a lot of kills. When Tour 3 came, it was a little bit better and more action-packed in the early stages of the game, but it usually started off this way.
Yeah, and it was always the thing in the second match as well, that the first team, or the team that was ahead by a game, didn't want to get overly aggressive and throw the match away, but obviously the team that was behind needed to secure that match to make sure that they stayed in the series and look to progress on. So yeah, you can see the similarities to Division 2 where both teams here just playing a little bit more defensive than that first game. Even Nemiga with nothing to lose here, they're just playing it a little bit safe because they want this series. They don't want to be going down to Division 2 without at least 1 win.
We have some really fast farmers on the map here, but the thing is that Nemiga has 2, even 3 really fast farmers, whereas Navi, you have a Luna, and that's it. Everyone else just doesn't farm that fast. That's why Nemiga are just going to be going more and more ahead as time progresses.
Yeah, and you see the Rubik able to take the Crypt Swarm, well, not away from the Death Prophet, because the Death Prophet does still have it, but the Rubik going to be able to get a Crypt Swarm of his own. And top lane. Lace, does he get himself away from this one? Again, he has that charge if he needs to just dive himself out. Going to be taking a lot of damage. Is he, though?
You know?
Is he, though?
Yeah, he is stronger. He is stronger than the Primal Beast. We can see the Spirit Breaker is the strongest. Yeah, I mean, I knew. Strong as an ox.
And the chase comes out. The Crypt Swamp's not going to connect, and Sweden Strong was backing him up. The cookie to the high ground as well. So at least Sweden Strong gets away. Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was able to get the range, but the pulverized range isn't really that big, so the stun would connect from the Spirit Breaker first.
Oh, yeah, you that one you definitely can. I just thought maybe the onslaught range is bigger than the greater bash around the charging, but no, that's not the case. So Spirit Breaker remains untouchable when he goes in the charge.
Okay. And that really is the unstoppable force and the immovable object there, with obviously the unstoppable force of the Spirit Breaker coming out on top. Well, but he's unstoppable when he's charging. And the Primal Beast, he's big, he's tanky, he doesn't want to move, he's going to stand his ground in these fights, so, you know.
Under attack.
You know, there's that myth, I don't know if it's true or not, that you cannot move a cow, right? And that might be the case. You know that one?
Yeah, no, well, I mean, cows are heavy, man.
Yeah, I know. No, I've never got up to one and like, yeah, I'm gonna push you away or something along those lines. I don't want to be playing with that one and get trampled.
See, that's the complete opposite, because the Americans, they have the thing called cow tipping, right? Where it is, they go and move the cow, they tip it over. I don't know if that's an actual thing, but it's like, it's a big American reference, and you know, they go on about it all the time, but yeah, I've never actually seen it happen. I've never actually seen video footage of someone going and moving and tipping a cow, so maybe they're not movable.
What? They get another kill. Third one in the game for Nemiga. Navi still have 0 currently, but the Luna is starting to ramp up the farm. Luna is one of the fastest farmers in the game, really. And when you get that first, second item, when you get a little bit more in terms of damage, you really start going through the creeps super fast. So it's once Vijun gets the BKB, it's time for Navi to go. What I'm afraid of is how are you going to force out a fight?
Well, Malrin, Lazy's going to be taking so much damage coming through from Malrin because he already has that Bloodstone. And look at the sustain here on the Lash. Lays dove himself in there, but the Hitbolt comes through. You know, even the Nether Strike being stolen by the Rubik immediately cast out, and Malrin just had the damage to bring him down.
And Nemiga are even taking down wards. Look at Sobat, how aggressively he's positioned in the enemy jungle. We were looking at the Luna farming, but really what's happening here with the rest of his teammates, they're stranded behind the tower. They can't go forward, and it might get dove now once the exorcism is out.
Yeah, you can see here, Vice is going to be coming out to the background now as well. There is going to be the overgrowth, so it's going to stop the pulverize, but the damage is going to be up onto the Death Prophet, because the Death Prophet has already used that exorcism, and it's going to be a lot of damage coming through, so they get the kill onto Nicky Cool, but Mallory's going to go down in return. Vice is trying to run himself away, has that onslaught if he wants to maybe turn game with this, and he's going to dive right back into it. Kiritich still with the right clicks, Vichun gets the kill onto Vizier. So Vizier, he definitely didn't want to go back in. He was defending his team, but maybe they have the damage onto the Luna.
Yep, they brought Vichun. He saw that his team is gonna get absolutely demolished in the bottom lane, and if I don't help them, they're gone. This Luna is super farmed. When you have a position when you're gonna be doing the damage and they can't get on top of you, you're gonna be doing quite a lot. And actually, it was shown in that fight that once he gets a BKB, Nemiga are gonna be in trouble, really. If he postures aggressively, goes in, and they don't stun him and kill him from 100 to 0, which is very hard to do, Vichun will do massive amounts of damage.
Yeah, and you can see that if you take a look at the net worth as well, he's only about 200 gold behind the Nature's Prophet, and that's a profit with the Hand of Midas as well. So that's supposed to be the farmer accelerator. Oh, they catch out onto the tree, and Tree Malady, what's he going to be able to do here? Has his team behind him with Sweet and Strong and Nicky Cool close. So it looks like the side of Nemiga just going to back themselves away. And yeah, Vazia, he was up on the top lane. He's looking for his own farm, looking for his items, because he needs that BKB as well.
So Excalibur had a Twitter rant a couple of days ago, but let's see if there's any action in the bottom lane before we continue with that story.
Yeah, at least he's going to be trapped in, can't get past the charge, not even going to be used, and Malrin does pick up the kill.
So anyways, his rant on Twitter was about the Nature's Prophet Midas. It went something like, don't buy Midas on Nature's Prophet. If you bought a Midas on Nature's Prophet and won the game, you would have won the game anyways. This hero doesn't need it. That is pretty much what it went like. And looking at the game, I'm like, fine that Kiritich has it, considering that you have so many heroes that want to take creeps off the map, so you're not going to be getting all of them, that you are still going to be able to match up the farm.
Marley, though, the Wrath of an Edge is going to be used, and Kiritich, he gets that kill from afar. Scatterblast comes out, Nikki Cool, he has the Exorcism, but it doesn't look like he's going to use it to chase down. Not even going to be using a Spirit Siphon there as well, but Hellscream, he's going to be the target for the charge, has that Lucent Beam. What can he do? No Silence going to be thrown out, and the Lucent Beam, it stops Lays in his tracks. He's still going to be able to go in with the ultimate, though. Can they get the steal onto the Rubik? The Rubik, he's going to be stunned up. Do they have the damage? They're going to be able to get the kill onto Hellscream, but now they've got the Pulverize coming through from Vazia. He uses that BKB and gets the kill. He will be taken down in return, but he takes down both supports here from the side of Na'Vi.
Nemiga understands the importance of this tower, but they're diving way too much. The second that the Luna starts TPing, get the hell out of there. You don't need to go for it. Yeah, you get the kill there with the Primal Beast 1, but you're not going to be getting out. You're up against the Spirit Breaker, you're up against the Luna that does massive amounts of right-click damage, and the big thing is also, if you were getting V-Tune's BKBs low, that's fine, but you're not. V-Tune is going to save his BKB because he knows behind the tower he's really not going to be touched.
Yeah, and you can see it again, getting ahead of the net worth, because the Luna, with the bouncing glaives here, with the damage that comes out, he just shreds through these creeps so quickly. And the Mask of Madness as well, just to be able to get to place, the extra attack speed that comes out from that. And you can see he's just going to go straight for the Hurricane Pike. So if something like that, even without the Beekeeper, or they're going to be able to get the Lucent Beam onto the Lesh now as well, charge through. Malrine, does he want to try and turn onto this? Has that Bloodstone, but the control's going to come through here from Lays, and they get the kill onto Malrine. They might even be able to take down Vazia too. Vazia, can he get himself away from this one? He doesn't have any spells left. BKB has already been used. The Sounds comes out. Nikki Cool looking for the chase. Has he gone a little bit too far here as Vazia still taking a lot of harass? But while this is happening, Kiritich, he gets that tower on the bottom lane.
There was no one to kill Nikki Cool. That's why he was going forward as much as he can. But again, the tower did fall at the bottom lane. That's the big one for Nemiga. That's the one that allows you to constantly poke with the Nature's Prophet. Then get yourself into a position where you're spreading out Na'Vi around the map quite a lot. Because Na'Vi, they want to be together. They have the Spirit Breaker that can connect, but no one else is as fast as he is. So, and neither of their cores have a Boots of Travel. So that makes it very, very tough to play the map now when you're gonna always have to be dealing with the bottom lane. Still Nemiga, on the other hand, they invested so much into that bottom lane and allowed Na'Vi to get back into it.
Yeah, no, the Na'Vi with 5 kills now. 5 kills to 9, a 3k net worth lead here for Nemiga, but V-Tune just continues to farm. He's going to get that Hurricane Pike as well, and again, if the Sprout comes out, even with you've got the BKB trapped up, you just throw out that Hurricane Pike, force it away, and you can see here, Nemiga, the EGB still favorites in this match, but Na'Vi, the odds aren't awful here for them to bring this game number 2 back.
It only comes down to it, can Na'Vi force out fights? Can Nemiga find the engagements when they have the numbers advantage? Those are the two things. If it's a 5 versus 5, I wouldn't want to be in Nemiga's shoes.
Yeah, and we can see that Na'Vi, they are stacking up in the mid lane, and what can they do with this? Because again, they have that little bit of momentum in their favor as V-Tune just continues to farm. Hurricane Pike is going to be done. He wants to be going for a Silver Edge next. The smoke, I think, was that a double smoke? I heard it twice.
Well, because now they're double faster and double invisible. So
I don't think that's how it works, but they are going to be able to find out the Undying, and he's just going to get blown up. Even with the mechanism, V-Tune just rips through him.
Kiritich is out. I'm just thinking, are Nemiga gonna get the Lincoln Spheres anytime soon? With the way that Nature's Prophet is itemizing, he wants to stand his ground against the Luna and the Death Prophet. Don't get me wrong, the Scotty is a great item against both the Luna and the Death Prophet, but I just think the Lincoln Sphere and the ability not to be caught in split push might just have more merits to it.
Yeah, I mean, you saw then the Prophet's trying to do what he can to put the pressure onto that bottom lane, but Lays is going to be splitting it off as V-Tune just continues to find his farm, continues to find these big items, and he's not even used the BKB all that much just yet. You know, it's down to 8 seconds, so just the one use here for V-Tune. He's going to be happy with this, especially if the fights take place at this pace from both sides.
You need to get those BKBs away from him for the late game.
Yeah. Bottom lane, Lays, he's going to be able to get himself away, has that Shadow Blade already, and no chase on, no reveal, so they're not going to be able to get the pick off onto Lays.
I like that Malrine went for Yules against the Spirit Breaker you needed. If you cannot break the Bulldoze, you really cannot keep him in place. Every single stun just doesn't work on him, and he's going to be able to charge away. So I like that they have the Yules. It's a good way to break the charge, but also a great way to make sure that there's no added status resistance on the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, and is that then just the main target, I guess? Because, I mean, we've seen Lashes in the past. They get the Yule Scepter for the setups in the fights for the split up. Is he just going to be using that Yule to prioritize getting the Purge off onto the Spirit Breaker.
You want to kill the Spirit Breaker if you can. If you kill the Spirit Breaker, it's very hard for Navi to fight.
Yeah. Oh, speaking about fights, Vice is going to try and get himself in here. He even gets a pulverized off now onto the Luna. They're going to be able to take him down, and Vichun, he couldn't get off the BKB. Mortimer Kisses are going to start to fly. Nicky Cool now as well. Sprout comes out. Sweden Strong going to be chased down. Vizia, that BKB does wear off, but Kiritich has his, and Nicky Cool is looking to run himself away. The Exorcism is up, but there's going to be the blink forward now as well. Even the Cookie, is it going to be enough? No, they might just change targets, and Sweden Strong will be the next one to go down.
This could be an attempt into Roche. Yeah, they're going for it immediately. Very nice call there coming up from Nemiga. The DD on the Nature's Prophet, man, you can't fight into it. That's the case. Look at how much damage he did in that fight. It was 3.5k. No one else comes close, and they killed the Luna. And that was such an unfortunate way for Navi, because it is Nemiga that blink in, and the Treant Protector blinks to the other side. He's the one that would be able to break the pulverize, but he blinked forward, and then he wasn't able to do so, and that's why the Luna died ultimately.
It's a little bit rough as Nature's Prophet finishes off the Skadi. Nicky Cool, he's used a lot of these exorcisms at what feels like defensively. And the movement speed's going to be nice to get him out, but he doesn't want to be getting out of the action. You know, he wants to be getting in the middle of it. But it seems that for the most part, these exorcisms, he's just using it to defend his team.
Breaker going in.
Yeah, Vizia, it's going to connect. Lays, he gets that bash as well. The Tombstone's going to be dropped. Telekinesis, and Lays, he doesn't have the BKB because he went for the Shadow, the Shadow Blade first. Cookie, V-Tune, Staff going to try and get himself away. Yeah. Really nice denial of area here. Now Sweden Strong. Lays going to be the backlines for the overgrowth. It was stolen and it comes out from the root, and they've got the lockdown onto Lays. If they have the damage they do, they're even going to be able to get the kill onto Sweden Strong. And Kiritich with the double. He might even go for a little bit more. Marine is chasing, but he doesn't have that blink dagger to close the gap. V-Tune will be able to get himself away.
Where's Excalibur to tell Kiritich he shouldn't get a Midas, huh? Where are you now? Anyways, it is, this Nature's Prophet is so damn strong currently. If it would be the Luna and him fighting each other, and Kiritich doesn't have anyone next to him for the glaives to bounce, he still wins that one. So Navi, they need to make a fight where they force Kiritich to be next to his teammates, and then the Luna goes ham. But you just haven't been able to do so in the engagements. And Nemiga, they seem to have accumulated enough farm that they can take a 5 versus 5.
Yeah, 25 minutes in here, you can see that Nemiga not scared about even being engaged upon by the run-up from Lays and the fall from the rest of the team. They are just getting aggressive. They're starting to take objectives around the map after this Roche as well. So that Roche is going to be a comfort point, having the Aegis onto the Nature's Prophet, being able to have that second life and get straight back in him. Even if you have the buyback, though, you potentially... Oh, Lays. Do we have the damage to take him down here? Les Shrek, he's going to try and pop that blood, keeping himself alive. The sustain coming through from that Pulse Nova, even through the silence now. He might try and turn it around because Kiritich TP's in. There's going to be Overgrowth trying to come out, but Maldi, I don't think he connected onto anyone. And they're going to lose Nicky Cool. Nicky couldn't get himself away from this one. They even get the kill with the Wrath of Nature coming through. Kiritich on the double. Can he get any more from this V2 with the BKB now? But Vazia, he's trying to avoid the Mortimer Kisses. The Mortimer Kisses are going to get the kill eventually, but it is going to be V2 out of position and out of life. And even Sweden Strong to live. The kill. They take everybody but the tree.
The damage from Navi comes out from this Luna, and if she's not there to start off the fight, your initiation on Malrine means nothing. He heals back up the full, and then you're in a bad position, you're surrounded by enemies, and your BKBs are gonna expire because the fight is going just for so long, and that is just it. Malrine has itemized in a way right now with the Bloodstone, with the Yule Scepter, that they can't kill him unless it's a burst. They burst him down from 100 to 0 because he's gonna heal up. He has those 2.5 seconds. He pulls the enemies out of position, and the mobility of Nemiga, Kiritich, and Vazia in particular is just so great that once the fight is open, they can really easily choose their targets.
Yeah, and Kiritich as well, he started that fight, killed off the Spirit Breaker with the Wrath of Nature, so he got that bonus damage that came out, immediately gets into the fight, and all of it, he hits like a truck. He hits like a truck anyway, but with the bonus damage coming through from the Wrath of Nature, there was just nothing that Navi could do to fight into that, and he was right in the middle of them. You know, TP's into the middle of the fight with the BKB, knows he has the Aegis as well. He just says, I'm going to stand here, I'm going to right-click, and what can you do about this? Absolutely nothing.
That's pretty unfortunate from the Spirit Breaker. He's coming into the charge like, roar, and then he dies from the Wrath of Nature without even getting it off.
Yeah. Oh, Yulceptor comes out now. Spirit Breaker. They're going to have the Soul Spirit Siphon. They're going to be able to have the kill. And leaves. He just gets caught out again, being controlled up. Now the Sprout into the tree. This is going to be damage coming through onto the tier 3. And what can they do now? They have the buyback onto the Spirit Cow if they need it. The Visor rotating in now as well. He's waiting. He's got that BKB. He's got the blink. He's waiting for anybody to come forward just to say, come on, somebody come at me so I can pulverize you into the ground.
Kiritich wants the star with the DD. He knows how strong he is with the Daedalus, and no one is really going to go for him. You get the tower, that's going to be enough for Nemiga. Is it?
No, you can see the Visor. He's coming up onto the high ground. He's playing that body blocker here as they go for that range. They've got half of the DD left. It is going to be fading off now, but when they took down that tier 3, you know, it was only about 3/4 of the way through, and they want to get maximum efficiency out of it.
They feel like they're so much stronger. And Luna, really, this hero, when it's on the aggressive, when it's stronger, it can feel impossible to deal with it. But when you're on the back foot and you can't really frontline, you're not that fat to be able to frontline at this point. Can't dish out the damage. Seems like Nemiga, they're not afraid of dying whatsoever in this game.
No, and Kiritich, he's going to go back for the Glypnir as well. He's got that Hand of Midas that he's going to be able to use in 10 seconds as the Aegis fades, so he's going to get all of his mana back. And even with this Aegis fading, the smoke's going to be coming out here from Nemiga. They are confident they can get themselves in a position to find a pick off. Meanwhile, Na'Vi, they're going to go for a smoke themselves, looking for that big wraparound, because one fight could even things up. But on the Radiant side of the map, if Nemiga take this fight, they should be back alive before the real pressure mounts on their base. So they want to keep Na'Vi on this side. They want to be taking the fights around the Radiant high ground.
They went for a smoke because they knew that Na'Vi were probably going to be coming. So once your smoke breaks, you know that they're there and you can react. But also, Na'Vi, they should know the top lane now, you need to be able to retake the triangle if you want to go into this game. And it's just so hard. The lane's constantly being pushed into your favor. And you have this lineup that on paper should be stronger, 5 versus 5. But you're not. You're just not currently stronger.
No, at least the Luna's going to be about 30 gold away from the Silver Edge. So the survivability that comes out from that, the extra crit damage there as well. This is where the Luna likes to start to stack the damage, you know. The Skadi afterwards as well for the extra stats, the survivability and the damage that that's going to put out. If the Luna can get to that Skadi, it's going to look really scary. The V-Tune could potentially get in and get around those fights and look to pick heroes off, sustaining through those fights as well. But at the minute, Luna is just the main target because the majority of the damage will come from that hero. And Nemiga know this, and they jump straight onto the Luna. They look for the pulverizers, they look for the damage, and they look to take down the Luna first.
The thing is, once he does get it, there's gonna be some halberds coming out. There are gonna be items that are gonna be dealing with it. Right now, Nemiga, no, this Luna is the only one that we maybe have to be afraid of at some point, and let's just itemize against her. That's how we will win this game.
Yeah, you can already see the Visor started his off. It's only in the quick buy, you know, he doesn't have any items, it doesn't look like to actually start towards it. But like you say, once those start coming out, it is going to be harder and harder for the Luna to fight into.
Nemiga just forcing Na'Vi back here onto the top lane, and even with all of Na'Vi being in their base, how do you start the fight? How do you kill Mallory?
Look at the damage coming through. Yeah, they're going to be able to get the kill onto the tree already. Malady just goes down early on. Lazy has to get himself away here, trying to use that Shadow Blade. He still doesn't have the BKB. He's about 100 gold away from it. He's trying to go with the ultimate off, but it gets cancelled off. So Nicky Cool with the Exorcism again, trying to do what he can into the side of Nemiga, but they need to wait for the BKB for the Spirit Breaker. It's about 50 gold away.
Just wait it out. You don't care. You wait out the Death Prophet's Exorcism, and you can go back in. We can see that Nemiga, they feel confident even with the Roche spawning. I still think Roche should be a better option for them, especially if it spawns earlier. But considering there's no Exorcism, Na'Vi are in no position to take a fight.
No, and you can see that it's going to be Malrine, the one that retreats. He gets himself the regen rune. This is going to be big. The damage that he puts out in the sustain, if they don't cancel this regen rune off early on, you know, if they want to try and engage, in fact, they're trying to get on security. So the Lotus Orb is going to be there. He has that BKB, going to be taking a lot of damage. But as he gets dive in, he just immediately has to come through. Yeah, they've got the Plasdome out on the Undying now as well with that Yulceptor. But this is looking like it's going to be a really nice fight for Na'Vi, or it was a nice fight for Na'Vi. As the Pulverize on the backline, they've got the control onto Swedenstrong. They've already got the kill onto the Death Prophet. They're even going to be able to get the kill. He falls out for the BKB for the Spirit Breaker. He's going to be dead and gone for the next 45.
Very smart move from Na'Vi to get out of the base. They know if they're not coming from a weird position, they won't be able to get get a fight. But even with that, Nemiga, they have so many resources around the map. They have a buyback. You killed the Nature's Prophet, like, we got him, but he's back in the fight. 8 seconds.
Yeah, and they're even going to be able to take the pulverize. The tree goes down again. Sweden strong fought back, but Vtune, he's not going to be able to do this on his lonesome. They need to wait. They can't even. They can't wait for people to come back up, but they can't contest 2 versus 4.
Yeah, you can just run in and die, or you can hope that the game lasts for at least 30 more minutes. Okay, Nemiga, can we go back to how we played in the first 10 minutes? No one touches anyone, so that our Luna can farm, get the rapier. But to be frank, Luna isn't really like an ultra late game hero.
Yeah, they're going to be caught. As Nemiga, again, it came a little bit too late in the season, but they finally pick up their first win up against Na'Vi, which means that it is going to be tiebreakers between Darkside and Monmove and Na'Vi and Nemiga.